Ladies and gentlemen, it's a big, weird, wild world out there, folks, and here we stand. Al pie del cañón, ready for anything. I'm Rob, and you're listening to...
The ProBoh Show!
Good morning, good people. For those of you listening live and for our podcast listeners, it's currently Friday, 8:30 a.m. Central European Time, 2:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. A big welcome to all our live audience today. Today, that's Min from the Netherlands. We have Vero and Born to Iron Man from Spain. We have Sasha from Australia. How you doing, guys? Good morning. We've got a good show for you today. In the second half of the show, I ask 100 humans to name a way people warm themselves up when they're cold. Name a way people warm themselves up when they're cold. Nombra una forma en que la gente se calienta cuando tiene frío. Okay, so name a way people warm themselves up when they're cold. In today's Complete the News, wow, I have two amazing news stories today. I don't know if we're going to have time for both. But I think we're going to look at a man who was arrested in Seattle and find out what he was drinking. That's a beautiful story. All that fun, my friends, in the second half of the show. In the first half, we have a delicious, unpopular opinion gifted to me by more and more of you are requesting to remain anonymous, which I find fine. That's fine. You know, I would rather receive suggestions than not. But from one of our listeners, and it's a good one today, some things are black and white. Some things are black and white. You've heard me talk a lot about moral absolution, or you know, about the way we kind of morally think that our morals are set in stone. But I've argued that it's a lot more situational than we would think. An example I always give is, you know, we all believe lying is wrong, right? Unless it comes to telling kids about Santa Claus and about Ratoncito Perez. Oh, but those are good lies, but they're still lies. You know, so how our morals are a little bit more flexible than we would give them credit. And had a little conversation with someone online, and they suggested this as an unpopular opinion, that some things are, in fact, black and white. Algunas cosas son en blanco y negro. Black and white is in the opinions, not as in the colors. You know? Okay, anyway, let's continue on. Mr. Cruzando, good morning, my friend. Let's see. So that'll be a good discussion. Also, we have some news coming up. First of all, how are you doing, guys? Guys, if you're listening to this on the radio, not only are you, at this point, 2 days late, because we broadcast this on Friday, but you know there's actually a ton of original shows that you haven't listened to. Because the ProBoh Show goes on regardless of what happens on the radio. This is an independent production. So if you want to catch up on those shows, it's very, very simple, guys. All you have to do is search for the ProBoh Show on any good podcast directory, and you'll find them. All right. Should we get into it today, guys? I'm here. You're here. Let's take a look at what's going on in the world. Oh, what do I always say? I'm not going to talk about politics. I'm not going to get into politics. But literally, my entire newsfeed is occupied by a photo. And I'm sure you all know the photo that I'm talking about. It is, in fact, ex-President Donald Trump's mugshot. Now, I was trying to figure out how to say mugshot in Spanish. Someone says foto political, but I don't think that's right, because a mugshot is the photo they take of you when you get arrested, right? And you hold the little board with numbers on. You know, a mugshot is just before you go, you get arrested, you have this photo taken of you by a police photographer. They're generally quite unflattering. And I kind of asked the translation elf to translate this headline from the BBC: Historic Trump mugshot released after arrest in Atlanta. And it just translated it as a foto histórica. Difunden una foto histórica de Trump tras su detención en Atlanta, Georgia. Oh.
¿Será posible? Vaya nivelazo.
Weird news for the radio, isn't it? A photograph. So I'm going to try and use my linguistic abilities to better describe it to you. If you're watching the show live, you're actually watching it on the screen right now. Or seeing it on the screen, sorry. Yeah, I mean, it's a photo of Donald Trump. If I was going to describe it to you, it's like if the Grinch were orange, you have a pretty good idea of what this photo looks like. It's kind of got the pose and the tilt of his head like a naughty schoolboy. It's kind of like the Venn diagram where naughty schoolboy and supervillain intersect. That's what you have in this photograph. It's like Lex Luthor was deflated slightly. So there you go. So let's break it. Let's get into this news from the BBC. Donald Trump has been arrested in Georgia on charges related to attempts to overturn the state's 2020 election results, marking the first time, this is actually historic, the first time a former US president has been photographed for a police booking. After posting a bail bond of $200,000, jeez, that's more than a lot of us will earn in the next 10 years. Trump labelled the situation a travesty of justice. Gonna build a wall around Georgia, and Georgia's gonna pay for it. A travesty of justice. This arrest is his fourth in 5 months. Jeez Louise. I don't think I've eaten pizza 4 times in 5 months. That is like a level of frequency. Is he a little addicted to getting arrested? To breaking the law. Let's see. This arrest is his fourth in 5 months. He later took to X, previously known as Twitter. I'm just going to keep on calling it Twitter, guys. Until they've changed the URL, to share his mugshot. His photo. I wish there was a word for this in Spanish. To share his photo with the caption, "Election interference, never surrender." Trump asserts that the case against him are politically driven, given his position in the upcoming Republican race against President Joe Biden. I'm not going to comment on that, but I will comment on the photo as I have. There it is. If you haven't seen this, by the way, all the links that I use in the show, I will post those to my Patreon for my supporters, so you can see them there. Also, guys, I'm working on a way to be able to share those articles on Discord if you're a subscriber to the Twitch channel. So if you're not on the Discord, please do that. Let's see. Next, social media is being flooded with spammy AI content. Woo. Yeah, as if this isn't a completely predictable plot twist, right? Las redes sociales se inundan de contenidos basura sobre inteligencia artificial, no translation elf. Not about spammy artificial intelligence, by spammy artificial intelligence. Scientists found more than 1,000 AI scam bots trying to scam people and steal their social media profiles. And regulators can't keep up. They cannot keep up. This is from BusinessInsider.com. Research conducted by Indiana University reveals a surge in spammy AI content on social media platforms, particularly on Twitter. Or X, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. The study identified over 1,000 bot accounts powered by OpenAI's ChatGPT promoting scams. These bots, forming networks called botnets, promote fraudulent cryptocurrencies and NFTs. Amazing picture. Yeah, I should take that down now, shouldn't I? Of course, he tilted his head down. Otherwise, you would see one of his multiple chins.
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
Again, if you want to see that photo, it's all over the internet right now, or you can just go to my Patreon. Check it out there. Okay, so yeah, I mean, this is, wasn't this waiting to happen? You know, online scams using artificial intelligence. The future looks a little bleak. Would you like some advice, my friends? Don't talk to strangers on social media. Do I sound like a parent? Don't talk to strangers, kids. But don't do it. It's not worth it. You know what I mean? If you're taking investment advice from a random Twitter account, then maybe you deserve what's coming to you. You know, I'm just going to say it like that. Darwin is doing his work. Don't trust a random internet social media profile with any investment opportunities. You know, this is only going to become more and more prevalent. Like, I think it was around last year, someone tried to using a WhatsApp scam. Tried to con my mother out of money, pretending to be me. Now mix that with modern technology. Mix that with technology like 11 Labs, for example, that can recreate voices. And the fact that my voice is all over the internet, things are going to get weird and wacky, my friends. Yeah. Do you want some honest advice from me, guys? Stay away from social media, full stop. I've stopped using it to a certain degree. I use it for the show, but usually just for outbound communication. The only place where I actually talk to people, if you ever want to have a conversation with me, is usually my Discord channel or my Discord server, and of course through Twitter, through Instagram messages when people reply to my unpopular opinions. But I'm honestly actually thinking about changing them to Discord too. But why Discord? Because it's decentralized and it's small, and I know that everyone in there is a real person. And I think that maybe that's a future. Maybe social media will eventually kill itself. I mean, I don't know if you're aware of Mark Zuckerberg or Meta's recent foray into AI. They've released a ton of codes for bots and things like that. And I actually think artificial intelligence is what is going to lead to social media's downfall. Is Meta kind of killing itself here? You know what I mean? Interesting topic that is or can be up for debate. Min said, "Oh yeah, I've been using your voice to scam for at least a year now." Good luck. Me and everyone I know are all poor, so it doesn't matter. Maximum you can get out of us is a few euros, so you're welcome to it. Okay, and final piece of news for today. Here we go. This is something I arguably should have spoken about earlier. A friend of mine, a listener to the show, I'm trying to find his name right now, Raj. Okay, he said that I haven't mentioned the India moon landing, and I should, because I talk a lot about science and about technology, and this is well worth talking about. And you know what, Raj? Yeah.
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
Quite right, sir. I should have mentioned this because it is a big deal. In fact, the India landed on the moon for less than it cost to make the movie Interstellar. Interstellar, what's his name? Christopher Nolan film. Yeah. They landed on the moon for less than it cost to make that movie. I believe it cost them 6.15 billion rupees, which is around $75 million. I'm not inventing this information, by the way. This is coming from an article from The Independent. India just landed on the moon for less than it cost to make Interstellar. India has successfully executed a lunar landing with its Chandrayaan, I'm sorry, Indian listeners, if I'm butchering that, 3 mission, marking its position as the 4th country to achieve this feat. Remarkably, the mission was accomplished on a tight budget of approximately 6.15 billion rupees, around $75 million, which is notably less than the production costs of many space-themed blockbuster movies, including Interstellar. It cost it like under half. I think Interstellar cost 165 million to produce. They got to the moon on 75 million. So there you go. Let's see. This achievement is even more significant considering the mission in 2019, which had a higher budget and ended unsuccessfully. India's cost-effective approach to space missions is part of its strategy to foster investments in its burgeoning private space industry. There you go. Russia landed on the moon too, says Rafelka, the hard way.
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
Another thing I didn't talk about. True. Yeah, Russia crashed a rocket into the moon. Yeah, I mean, look, things are happening in space, guys. We can't talk about it all. But it's true, yeah. Russia accidentally, I assume, crashed a rocket on the surface of the moon. All right, guys, so that's the news for today. Let me just catch up with what you're saying about these. It just feels like we need to somehow protect one's likeness and voice. Also helps with protecting artists, etc. Yeah, I agree with that. I actually heard that they're hosting an AI safety conference in London. I don't have an article in front of me. I was going to mention this news, but I don't want to make it too AI heavy, this show. But it's true, they are holding a safety conference in the UK. Actually in the centre where code breakers during World War II used to work. So I'll keep you updated on that as things happen. But yeah, there needs to be some protection for a person's identity, right? A person's creative works being used to train AI, I'm still not convinced that it's stealing, honestly. I'm not. And that's as a person who produces a lot of content himself. I don't think it's stealing. If you want to use my photos, my paintings, my illustrations to train AI, go ahead. I don't care. It's an honor. But the idea of a person's identity being stolen, that's a tricky one. And then where does the Venn diagram of protecting identity and then movie studios using fake people based on real people in background shots, where does that intersect? You know, is that not stealing someone's identity if you copy an extra? Interesting, right? These are topics that, you know, I guess we all should be talking about. Let's see. Min says, well, they went a lot further into space in Interstellar.
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
True story. They did go further than the moon. Russia landed on the moon too the hard way, and Con is joining us all the way from South Africa. How you doing, guys? All right, you know what we're going to do? We're going to get into today's unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion.
Oh my God, guys. We have a good unpopular opinion today, gifted to me by one of our listeners, requested to remain anonymous. Some things are black and white. You know, you've heard me argue against moral absolutionist kind of ideas, like, you know, that our morals are set in stone. I don't think that's true. I think our morals are a lot more situational. But I did get into a conversation last night, and this was suggested to me. Some things are black and white. Algunas cosas son en blanco y negro. Y ya está. Some things are black and white. And I'm not talking about the color of certain things. Like Min here is saying chessboards, badgers, zebras, zebras. Yeah, okay. Some things are colored black and white. But when it comes to our morals, yeah, those are in fact grey. But then the conversation I was involved in with someone last night, they said something to me that made me think, well, actually, this is a good topic for discussion. They said the truth. The truth is black and white. It's either true or false. And you argue all the time against media outlets offering shades of grey instead of dry, unadulterated truth. And you know what? I couldn't argue with that. So we're going to discuss it right here. Some things are black and white, true or false. So I asked people on Instagram, as I do every day, I ask people on Instagram to vote, offer their opinion on what they think regarding this topic. Are some things black and white, or is everything in some kind of moral grey area? Well, on Instagram, they said 65% true. True, that some things, you know, can't be argued. Some things are, in fact, just black and white, and there is no shade of grey. Vero has a big comment here. Before we get into the, I think this is the same as she wrote on Instagram, so I'll read this before we get into the pros and cons. It is never black and white. There are always shades of grey and various nuances of colour. And as Grandpa Bo would say, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. True story. Grandpa Bo would have said that. If you like what I think, cool. If not, you know where the door is. There's a famous saying by Ramón Campoamor that reads, Nada es verdad ni mentira. Todo es según el color de cristal con que se mira. Nothing is truth or a lie. Everything is according to the color of the glass through which it is seen.
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
I agree with that statement. I agree with that statement, but let's see. We're going to get into some pros and cons right now. So I did, as always, thoroughly torture the elves this morning, and this is what they provided in the pro column, agreeing with the statement that some things, in fact, are black and white. Okay, so we have moral absolutes. Many people believe in certain moral principles, such as killing an innocent person is wrong. Such absolutes provide clear moral guidance across cultures and times. Logical truths. In logic and mathematics, some positions are either true or false, with no middle ground. For instance, a statement cannot be both true and false at the same time. Great point. There is no black and white around 1 + 1 = 2. 1 + 1 is 2, and that's a truth, and there is no grey area. Well, it could be 2.5. No, it's 2. Okay, let's continue. Legal clarity. Laws and regulations often require clear boundaries. For example, the legal age to vote or drink alcohol is definitive and does not allow for grey areas. Finally, in the pro column, safety protocol. In many fields, especially where safety is concerned, black and white rules are essential. For instance, red means stop at a traffic light. There is no ambiguity about it. Woo! For all this, we've been talking about shades of grey. Yeah, this is a good one. Okay, let's get into the cons now. People that disagreeing with a statement. A statement, kind of my, position on this up until, we're arguing today about it. So that few things in life are truly black and white. Let's get into this. Cultural relativism. What is considered morally acceptable in one culture might be frowned upon in another. For instance, dietary habits or dressing norms can vary greatly across different societies. Contextual morality. Some argue that most moral decisions depend on context. For example, stealing is generally wrong, but if someone steals food to feed their starving family, the ethical implications can't be debated. Or can be debated, sorry. Yeah, true story. Human emotions and relationships. Human feelings, motivations, and relationships are complex and seldom fit in to a black and white framework. For instance, love, jealousy, or anger can't be easily categorized as wholly good or bad. That's true. That's true. And finally, scientific inquiry. The nature of scientific inquiry is such that definitive answers are rare. As we gather more data, we refine our understanding. What seemed black and white might evolve into a more nuanced matiz. Oh God, that's just wow.
Será posible. Vaya nivelazo.
I knew that word without using the translation elf. So as we gather more data and refine our understanding, what seemed black and white might even evolve into more nuanced understanding. True story. True story. So this is a fascinating debate. I did get some messages from the people on Instagram. I'll read a few of those for you right now. From a historical standpoint, some events, this is from Elena, some events and discussions seem black and white. However, it's crucial to understand the context and nuances of the times to get the full picture. Raj, who shared with me the thing earlier, around the Indian moon landing, he went on to say, in coding, you've got your binary. It's either a 1 or a 0, a black or a white, but in life, there's more shades of grey. Lila says, while I get that life is complex, there are clear issues of right and wrong. Injustices, or for instance, are plain black and white to me. All right, so that's what the audience is saying, but what you guys are people watching live, what do you think? Because at the end of the day, you are the ones who make the decision. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. I got a nivelazo from Mr. Cruzando. Thank you.
Será posible. Vaya nivelazo.
Min, but how you act on the truth doesn't have to be black or white. I think you could even say that morals are in fact black and white, but most people think very poorly about their morals and ethics. And as such, it seems like there are shades of grey, but it's actually not really thinking about one's own morals. If you say something like, it's not okay to lie, sometimes it is to kids, then you didn't ever truly believe in your first statement. You just didn't properly think about it. Okay, that's an interesting point. Here, what just to break down a little bit what Min is saying. He's saying that there are that moral absolutes do exist, but you haven't given them the proper consideration. But I think you'd be hard pressed, even someone like me who's thought about this a great deal, to say that lying is right. I think the most absolute statement you could make is that sometimes it's okay to lie. Right? And that's not a black or white statement. That statement is dripping with grey. Sometimes it's okay to lie. Sometimes it's okay to steal, using an example there that the elves gave us. But then it's hard to argue with the fact that, the truth is either black or white. We can have opinions with regards to how those facts are presented, but if presented in a sufficiently dry manner, it's black or white, right? It's a truth or it's false. 1 + 1 = 2. It's not 1 + 1 might equal somewhere between 1.5 and 2.5. No. 1.1. 1 + 1 = 2. So interesting. Some things in life are black and white, but that kind of goes against the grain of everything that I believe, or at least I've stated on this show. But I've got to admit, I'm a little stumped by this one, so I need your help, guys. Let's see. Let's continue with the chat. So the question is, do we want everybody to think of their morals and ethics to an extreme extent, putting loads of caveats and long-winded ideas to guide us, or do we keep it short and simple? Say there's grey areas where our simplified ideas don't fully apply. Interesting point. Min's killing it today. Hold on.
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
Rafelka says it's more about circumstances. Killing is bad, but it. Oof, sorry, Rafelka, I'm struggling with this one. Killing is bad, but he one you kill was But if it's in self-defense, if you're killing someone who's trying to kill you, is it really bad? If it's defense, is it really bad? How's about the statement, killing innocent people is morally wrong? Seems pretty black and white to me. And I struggled this morning to find an example where killing an innocent person is not morally wrong. I think it is morally wrong. But then you could debate, like, what is innocence, right? It's a tough one today, guys. It's a tough one. I personally think humans like simplicity, so I'd go with shorter morals than have a grey area. The one you kill. Thank you, Rafelka. My bad. I should have read further down. Even the simplest statement, you can probably find exceptions that would disagree with it. True story. Guys, loopholes upon loopholes, says Con. Guys, here we go. It's time for you to vote. I'll post the poll in the chat. Tons of things you could have been doing this morning. Instead of doing those things, you took the time to spend some time with me, and it means the world. I will see you in a few minutes. Hey guys, if you'd like to support the show, you can do so on Patreon. That's patreon.com/professional bohemian. There you'll find VODs of the episodes as they are recorded live, blogs, vlogs, and behind-the-scenes content. If you'd like to watch the show live, you can do so on twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and you can participate in the polls we use in the show on Instagram @professional bohemian or Twitter @ProBoh, ProBoh. Okay, on with the show.
The ProBoh Show!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. If you just tuned in, if you're one of our radio listeners, number one, you should be downloading the podcast to get these things fresh. Otherwise, the news is old by the time it gets to you. Let's see, what do we talk about? We spoke briefly about the mugshot. Mugshot being a photo they take of you in prison or before you get charged or booked, as they would say in the States, in a police station. Mugshot. I don't think you have a translation for this photo. I think is the best we can do. So Donald Trump's mugshot being released after his arrest in Atlanta, Georgia, historic event. I don't think it's ever happened. Okay, and then we moved on to the news from Business Insider. Research conducted by Indiana University has revealed a huge number of spam bots using AI trying to scam you and steal your social media accounts. Join Discord, friends. At least join my Discord. There are no bots. Well, there are bots in there, but the bots that I made that help us. Let's see. Next, we spoke again about the moon landing. India's moon landing. They managed to land on the moon for less than it cost to make a movie about space. There you go. Good for them. This is it's a part of their strategy to have cost-effective space missions and to foster, more investment in its burgeoning space industry. We spoke previously about the race to the moon, the current race to the moon, as in terms of mining it for resources. Are we the baddies, guys? Are we the baddies just going to other celestial bodies just to steal them of their resources? Are we the baddies? When I get talk about this kind of thing, I kind of feel like the human race is a bit of a virus traveling from planet to planet. Do you think maybe that's why the aliens haven't arrived? Because Earth is infested with humans? Let's see. Anyway, so then we moved on to today's unpopular opinion, which was some things are black and white. Algunas cosas son. Some things are black and white. Blanco y negro. So sometimes there are no shades of grey. Some things are black and white. Okay, let's get into the comments because there are some brilliant comments here in the chat. Okay, Rafelka says, I know we read that one. Min, even the smallest statement, you could probably find exceptions that would disagree with it, which is true. Loopholes on loopholes, says Con. A loophole. God, I don't know how you'd say that in Spanish. A loophole. Vacíos legales, maybe. Loophole. So loophole is when there's a law that you can find a way to get around using a loophole. Okay, let's continue. You have to define innocent. So I was saying before the break, like killing innocent people is wrong, right? Is that a moral absolute? Is that a way we would identify something that is in fact black and white? And then Min says this: killing an innocent person is still very relevant, depending on how you look at it. It applies to abortion and euthanasia. Wow.
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
I can't help but say that is some amazing critical thinking there. Helping someone die who is innocent of any wrongdoing but have an illness that is degenerative or they're past the point of no return and they want to die, if you aid in that, essentially you're killing an innocent person. But I would argue, like if I had an illness that was going to eventually cause my death, and it got to the point where my life, the quality of my life was no longer worth continuing on with it, I would want to die. I would want a doctor to help me do that. I mean, this is a very controversial issue, and again, this is only my opinion. And as Vero pointed out, as Grandpa Bo would say, opinions are like buttholes. We all have one. They all stink, including mine. So there you go. So yeah, I mean, I would say there is even some moral grey area with killing an innocent person is wrong. Interesting. But then you might say, well, in the case of euthanasia, the person is asking for that service. It's not made by their own or the person who's doing the killing. It's not their decision. But I would still say the act is still the act, isn't it? Killing someone, whether they asked for it or not, it's still killing someone who's innocent. Rafelka says, killing someone who has been forced to set off a bomb that could kill a lot of people before doing it. Is it wrong? You're killing a victim, but if you don't do that, hundreds could die. Interesting. Min, I guess mostly, this is Mr. Cruthanda, mostly there are shades of grey. But for example, treating with people with respect is a black and white matter. Min comes back with that, and he says, there are no situations, no type of people, and no actions that can be taken so that the person doesn't deserve respect. Now, okay, we're not going to release the results of the poll. It's true. You should treat everyone. I believe this. I'm a bit on the border with Mr. Cruzando. When you meet people for the first time, I believe it can be black and white. You treat everyone upon first meeting with respect until they've given you a reason not to. Okay? Is there any black and white to that? It's interesting. It's a phenomenal debate to be having on the show. What do you think at home? Write to me. Send me a message on my Instagram at Professional Bohemian. Join me on Discord. The channel is, or the server's called Professional Bohemian there. Reach out to me in the comments of the show. What do you think? Are some things black and white? Upon meeting is already quite the caveat. Yeah, it is. You're right. It's what makes this really a fascinating subject to debate. And thank you for that follow, by the way. All right, so I asked you. Okay, let's get to the end of this. I asked you, I made the statement, some things are, in fact, black and white. You guys said, well, it was 50-50 today, guys. It was 50-50. Ironically, a very grey answer about something being black and white. As Min says here, now at 50-50 the poll, is the poll black and white or is it grey? So then you go back to, is it grey or is it black and white? You just need to specify. I think when you look at things at macro level, black and white exists, as it does in physics. You know, the laws of gravity seem constant. There's certain physical laws that just seem, undeniable. But then you get into the microscopic world, and those rules get turned on their head. And I think in some way our morals are the same. Killing is wrong on a macro level. But once you start to deep dive, zoom in, look at the nuance that could exist, that's when we introduce shades of grey. What worries me about black and white thinking is the fact that when we believe we are ultimately in control of a moral high ground, our behavior begins to lose reason in most things in life. I think there are shades of grey. If you believe that some things are black and white, some things, as the unpopular opinion today was phrased, that's fine. But accept the possibility, I would say, that you're looking things at a macro level and not really picking or choosing to see nuance that could exist. I still believe that our morals are very situational. And I think anyone who says, no, I don't behave like that, that's not my moral call. I'm not really investigating their behavior, because to be human is to err, right? To make mistakes. Not to quote the Bible, to err. Oh, was it the Bible or Shakespeare? To err is human, to forgive is divine. It's probably the most human thing you can do. To change your mind, to be flexible, to understand that not everything in life is black and white. And that's my final thoughts for today, guys. Let's move in to the interactive part of the show. Let's go and speak to 100 humans. All right, there we go. Mr. Cruzando, you are right. In fact, I'm thinking of some people I met in the past. Yeah. Okay, so let's get into this. It was a long walk to work today, friends, across snow-capped mountains and through river valleys. And on that walk, I encountered 100 humans, and I asked them all a question. Today's question was, name a way people warm themselves up when they are cold. Name a way people warm themselves up when they are cold. Nombra una forma en que la gente se calienta cuando tiene frío. Name a way people warm themselves up when they are called. I asked them that question. They gave me their answers. I'm in possession of the top 7 answers right here. Your job in the chat, our live audience, is to identify those top 7 answers. Woo! All right. Why are we doing 100 humans about cold weather when it's so warm outside, you're asking? We're still in effect of in the heat dome, the Dutch oven. Why are we doing this? Well, because the temperatures are set to decrease today, and I only anticipate Spaniards now complaining about how cold it is outside. Que frío hace, no? It's so cold out here. Temperatures change 2 degrees. Que frío. I'm joking, Spaniards, I love you. All right, here we go. So, name a way people warm themselves up when they are cold. Rafelka says, jumping. Jumping, saltar, to jump. Jumping. Is jumping there? It's a good answer. But sadly, it's not there. It's a good answer. It's a good answer. I jump mainly when I need the bathroom. That's when you'll see me jumping. Doing the bathroom, I need a wee dance. We've all got an I need a wee dance, right? Usually it's just shifting your weight from one leg to another. So, jumping, great answer, but not there. Vero says, making a bonfire. Making a bonfire. Is making a bonfire there? You're cold. What do you do when you need to warm up? You make a bonfire. Hacer una hoguera, would you say? Bonfire? I don't know. Is making a bonfire there? No. Can I just say, you guys are picking very extreme examples of things that people might do in there. You know, I'm a bit cold, you know. Maybe I won't jump up and down or make a bonfire. Maybe I'll do other things first. So I think zoom in a little bit. Just a clue. Okay, here we go. A hot shower. A hot shower, says Urs. A hot shower. Is a hot shower there? No, it's not. I think you guys are gonna get one, and it's going to open up the whole thing. Rafelka says blowing on their hands. He also says rubbing hands. So yeah, blowing on, rubbing your hands. Is rubbing your hands there? Rubbing your hands together? Yes, it is. We're off the board, friends. Rubbing hands together is there. It's with 10 of 100 humans. It's the 3rd place answer. Well done. Rubbing hands. All right. Cuddle, says Min. Cuddle. Oof. Yeah, like, I don't know how you'd say cuddle. Abrazar. Cuddle, right? Oof, that's more like embrace. Give me a cuddle. Abrazar, I think, is the best. Or acurrucarse, maybe. Oh, God damn.
¿Será posible? Vaya nivelazo.
Acurrucarse, abrazar, you know. To cuddle. Is cuddling there? To cuddle. Yes, it is. Oh, my God. Told you we're off the board and we're off and running. Cuddling is there. It is the 5th most popular answer, with 9 of 100 humans saying to cuddle. All right. Let's continue. Mr. Cruzando, pop into the sauna. It's not there. If you're lucky enough to have a sauna, then maybe you do that. But it's not there. Okay, let's continue. Vero is ready to be a Viking. I know, I love it. Put on a sweater. Put on a sweater. Ooh, this is kind of in between 2 of the answers, so I'm definitely going to give it to you. So I'm going to give you the 2nd most popular answer and the 4th most popular answer. We have put on a jacket and put on extra clothes. So there you go. Well done, Min. You got 2 there in one. It's the 2nd most popular answer. 19 of 100 humans said put on a jacket, and 9 of the 100 humans said put on extra clothes. Okay, guys, you're doing well. You've only got 3 more to get. You know what? I'm going to reconsider, and I'm going to actually give Vero bonfire. Not because you know I want her to be a Viking. Although you should join us on our game sessions, Vero, in the Discord. The answer to light a fireplace or sit by the fire is actually there. So well done. It's not necessarily a bonfire, which a bonfire would be outside, right? It's a fire. To be by the fireplace. It's there. 8 of 100 humans said fireplace. Okay, let's continue. Let's see. Put on a coat, said Urs. Nailed it. Well done. Again, just like Min, that's in the second place position, but you nailed it. Put on a jacket, put on a coat. Wearing a robe, I would say that's kind of like putting on extra clothes. Rafelka says, drink something hot. To drink something hot. Urs says a coffee. Okay, you know what? I want to give you this. To drink something hot is there, but you need to name the thing. In Spain, you drink this with churro. Ooh, or porra. Not porro, that's something else. So what am I talking about? What kind of a drink? What kind of a hot drink am I talking about? You know, in England, we actually have a special word for this. Okay. Rafelka says chocolate. Is it hot chocolate? Drink hot chocolate. Yes, it is. Well done. 7th most popular answer with 6 of 100 humans saying hot chocolate. Never had a chocolate con churros? My God. It's like a great pre-hangover food when you're on your way home after a heavy night. Let's see. Soup. Drink soup, says Symbol. Is soup there? Oh. Mr. Cruzando says, in Russia, you drink vodka. It's not there either. We're looking for the number 1 answer. Okay, so let me give you some clues for this. In modern bars with terraces that open later in the year, they actually offer this. They'll give people these items to cover themselves, to maintain the heat. It's an item. You would, you're on the sofa, you're laying down. Maybe you grab one of these if it's a little chilly in the room. MJ Symbol has an answer there. MJ Symbol, he steps out of the dust and chaos of today's 100 humans. Him and Mr. Cruzando both yell at the top of their voices, a blanket. Name a way people warm themselves up when they're cold. A blanket. Is it there? Yes, it is. Well done. Symbol and Mr. Cruzando, a blanket is there. 30 of 100 humans said that. Let's go through the list. So I asked 100 humans to name a way people warm themselves up when they are cold. In position number 7, we had drink hot chocolate. Tomar un chocolate caliente. Chocolate caliente. I think it's the same way. Hot chocolate. Am I right? I don't know. In position number 6, we had a fireplace. Chimenea, would you call that in Spanish? A fireplace. Sit by the fireplace, light a fire. Well done to Vero for that one. In position number 5, we had cuddle. Abrazar, acurrucarse, to cuddle. 9 of 100 humans said that. In position number... I don't know what number we're on. I think we're on number 4. Okay. We put on extra clothes. We wear extra clothes. Ropa extra. In position number 4. No? 3. Yes. Some elves are getting fired today. Okay. In position number 3, we had rub your hands together. In Spanish, would you say frotarse las manos? Would you? Frotarse las manos? Rub your hands together? It's there either way with 10 of 100 humans saying that. In position number 2, we have to put on a jacket. Ponerse la chaqueta. Okay, to put on a jacket or put on a coat. In position number 1, with blanket. Well done, Mr. Cruzando and MJ Symbol. Friends, that was today's 100 humans. Let's go to Complete the News.
Complete the news.
It was a good one today. I was a little worried in the beginning, guys. But look, you did it. You killed it. Well done to you. I didn't even really give that many clues. Some elves are getting fired. Says MJ Symbol, a quote. When I say fire, I mean torture. And just so you know. All right, guys, this is complete the news. I'm going to give you a news headline, and it's going to have some important information missing. If you're one of the many people who are watching but not interacting, this is your moment, because all you have to write is A, B, or C. And with those options, you will, my friends, complete the news. So here we go. Here's the first one, maybe the only one we have time for. Let's see. So, a Seattle police arrest a man found drinking blank during a home invasion. Seattle police arrest a man found drinking blank during a home invasion. Okay, so la policía de Seattle detiene a un hombre al que se encontró bebiendo blanc durante el asalto de una vivienda. Seattle police arrest a man found drinking blank during a home invasion. Is it A, makeup remover? I don't know how you say this. Quita maquillaje, a lo mejor? Makeup remover. I think it's acetone. Is it B, gasoline? Gasoline. Or is it C, Bud Light? That's Budweiser's light version. A, B, or C. Seattle police arrest a man found drinking blank during a home invasion. Is it A, makeup remover, which I believe in Spain is acetona? It's acetone. Is it B, gasoline, or is it C, Bud Light? A, B, or C? What do you think, my friends? Woo, it's a tough one. It's a tie between B and C right now in the chat. I like how everyone thinks, like only one person has said, amazing cocktail, A, B, and C together, says Mr. Cruzando. What do you think? What was he drinking? Makeup remover, A. B, gasoline, or C, Bud Light? I like how, like, every answer is possible in the chat. It's like, yeah, Bud Light is pretty malicious. It's the most ridiculous answer. Bud Light. C is currently in the lead, by the way. Bud Light. It's like, oh, this can't be real. Why would someone choose to drink Bud Light? No, surely it's makeup remover or gasoline. Okay, C is in the lead. Should we get the results? Okay, so a Seattle man, or the Seattle police, sorry, la policía de Seattle, arrest a man, detiene a un hombre, found drinking gasoline, que se encontró bebiendo gasoline. Well done, guys. Sorry, my bad. I didn't do the thing. Well done. So I win that one. You said C, Bud Light. It wasn't. So this is an article from KIRO. News reports an unusual incident involving a 40-year-old burglary suspect in Seattle. The man was found drinking gasoline when police officers attempted to arrest him for a residential burglary. Yeah, there you go. You all said Bud Light. As if that was the most ridiculous answer. Should we do one more really quick? Do we have time? Let's try. Okay, let's do piece of news number 2. You have to answer real quick, though, guys. Okay, here we go. Thousands of pounds of blank contaminating half of Washington City's water supply. Thousands of pounds of blank found contaminating a Washington City's water supply. Miles de kilos de blanc contaminan la mitad del suministro de agua de una ciudad de Washington. But what is it? Is it A, dog poop, B, waste from a recycling plant, or C, Ben & Jerry's cookie dough ice cream? Thousands of pounds of blank is contaminating half of Washington City's water supply. Is it A, dog poop, B, the waste from a recycling plant, or C, Ben & Jerry's cookie dough ice cream? A is in the lead. Let's see what that is. Thousands of pounds of... The answer was A, dog poop. The city of Bellingham, Washington is grappling with a significant dog waste issue. Guys, all of the articles that I've used today, those will all get posted to my Patreon. If you support me on there, thank you so much. I will work out a way for subscribers to the Twitch channel to be able to access that content too. Friends, so many things you could have been doing this morning. Instead of doing those things, you took the time to spend some time with me, and it means the world. I will see you guys on the next show.